What's up, everybody? So today I want to show you how you can make a minimal a slider carousel with minimal JavaScript. It'll end up being something like 15 or 16 lines of code. So we'll make something that looks like this here. So you have a few different slides, and you have these previous and next slide buttons. So it's very basic. But like I said, it's only about 15 lines of code. So let's open up CodePen. We're just going to do everything in CodePen so that it's nice and visible, all of our code at the same time, as well as our live preview. So first, let's scaffold out our markup. So we're going to have some divs here. One's going to be the slider wrapper. Within that, we're going to create two buttons. It's going to be our previous and next buttons. And inside those buttons, I'm going to paste the HTML entities for the little chevron or carrots, whatever they're called, carrots for left and right. So this top one is going to be it's going to be our previous arrow. So we're going to give it an ID of slide arrow previous or prev, and we're going to give it a class that's going to be the same for the other button, for the common styles between them of slide arrow. So for this one, we'll give it that unique ID of slide arrow next, and give it the common class of slide arrow. All right. And below it, on the same level, so it'll be a sibling of these two buttons, we're going to create a unordered list item with four slides with classes of slide. You can use Emmet to quickly render out that markup like I did there. On the unordered list, we're going to give it a class of slider container. Okay. And in this CodePen, let's just give it we see we have these, the list item decorations. We don't want any of this. We want to use a CSS reset to give us some good base styles. So if you just click on the CSS pane settings here, then you can just click reset, save, and that should get rid of the little unordered list item disks, but it doesn't reset our button style, so we have to do that ourselves. So first, let's add some CSS here. This is really all the markup that we need. Isn't that amazing? You should see how little JavaScript we need. That'll be even more amazing. Okay, so let's give the slider wrapper a few styles. All right, we'll give it a padding of 1 rem. It's going to be position relative, overflow hidden. For our slider container, we're going to give it a display flex. Height of, we're going to give it some padding on top and bottom. Actually, we just want to fill up the whole vertical height of our viewport. So we're going to give it a height of calc 100 vertical height, but minus 2 rem for where the padding is. We don't want it to go to bleed outside of the inner content of our slider wrapper. So once again, we give it a height of calc and then 100 vertical height minus 2 rem, which will fill up the entire content box of our slider wrapper. We will also give it a width of 100%, overflow hidden, and a scroll behavior of smooth, which gives us a smooth transition effect when we advance or go to a previous slide. For our slides, we're going to give them a width of 100%, height of 100%, and they're going to flex 1 for grow, 0 for shrink, and 100% for basis, flex basis. So let's see. Now let's give the arrows some common color, or excuse me, some common CSS properties. So let's just select the class for our slide arrows. These styles will affect both of them. So we're going to wipe out these base button styles. Appearance, none. You can do also WebKit, appearance, none, so that we get more cross-browser compatibility. Background of RGBA, we're going to give them like a kind of a light gray, slightly transparent background. So we're going to go 255.255, excuse me, 255, comma, 255, comma, 255, comma. We'll go with 0.7 for the alpha channel. We're going to give them a height of 100 pixels. Border none. Width 30 pixels. Font size 2 rem. And cursor pointer. All right, so we don't see the background right now because it's a white background, and this is just a slightly transparent white background for the buttons. So actually, let's get some color in our preview pane. So let's give each of these slides just whatever color we want, just a few random colors here. So let's see, first, I'm gonna click and hold Command, or I believe it is the meta key. The meta key is the Windows key, I believe, on Windows. So I'm gonna select all of them and give them a style, background, and then semicolon. And I'll give the first one a background color of, let's see, blue. Next one will be pink. Next one will be cyan, cayenne, however you pronounce it. And the last one will be magenta. All right, so now we see our slides in our preview pane. We can check them out. But because I have overflow hidden, I don't have any swipe ability. So I can't touch and move these right now or scroll through them. But that's okay because these buttons will come into play in a minute and we'll be able to go to the next and previous slides by way of clicking on those buttons. Okay. All right. So now let's give some individual styles to our previous and next buttons. First, we'll target our next button. We'll give it a top of 50% from the top of the element it's relative to, which should be the slider wrapper right here. Okay, so top of 50%, and we'll do right of 1 rem, transform, translate, y negative 50% to move it back 50% of its own height so that it's truly in the middle of the parent div that it's relative to. We're going to give it a border top left radius of 50 pixels and a border bottom left radius of 50 pixels. And let's move on to the previous slide button, arrow button. Let's see, so let's target that. Top 50%, just like its brother. Actually, we could just move those styles up. We can move that style up if we wanted to really be dry and not repeat ourselves. Let's do it though. All right, so that can go in the common styles. And then, but this takes a left 1 rem. This transform translate is also common, so we can just move that into the common styles. Format to make things clean. Oh, I broke it. Okay. Let's just format this code real quick. I like things to look clean. All right, so we got those common styles together. Left. So again, we need to set some border radiuses, but they are on the other side for this arrow. So we'll do border top right radius 50 pixels and border bottom right radius 50 pixels. All right, what do we got here so far? Things are still looking pretty ugly. And let's see. Oh, that's right. We forgot to give our slide arrows position absolute. Oh, where am I? I'm all over the place on my keyboard here. Position absolute. All right, so that's looking better, but what is the deal here? Why are they at the top and not? Because I did top 50 and not top 50%. There we go. Okay, now they're vertically aligned like we'd like them to be. All right, let's move on to our JavaScript now and make this thing an actual clickable slider. Okay, and first let's create some variable references to our elements. So we'll do const slides container equals document query selector, and we're going to target slider container. Next, we'll target our slide. So slide equals document query selector, and this is just got a class of slide. Now let's target our buttons. So we'll create variable references to our buttons. So const prev button equals document query selector, and that is slide arrow previous. And we can just copy this. Oh, where are we at? What did we do? And change this to next. And also this here to next. Okay, now we've got our two buttons, our slide and our slide container. Okay, so we're going to be making use of the DOM API for scroll left on an element, which we can see right here on the MDN docs. So the element scroll left property gets or sets the number of pixels by which an element's content is scrolled from its left edge, so horizontally. This value is subpixel precise in modern browsers, meaning that it isn't necessarily a whole number. All right. Ours will be whole numbers, so we don't need to care about that. All right, so let's add some event listeners for these buttons, and then when clicked, our event listener callback will just adjust the scroll left property either in the negative or in the case of the previous button being clicked, or a positive in the case of the next button being clicked. So let's go prev button, add event listener, and on click, we are going to get the width of one of the slides. It doesn't matter which slide, but our selector will just select the first one that it finds. So we'll get the client width, and then we're going to scroll the slide container. So we'll do slides container, scroll left, equal or minus equal slide width. We're basically going to just duplicate this for our next button. So let's just change the values here. This will be the next button. And the only difference is that it's going to be plus equal. So if you aren't familiar with these compound assignment operators like minus equal to or plus equal to, this is basically the same thing as doing saying that the scroll left current value minus slide width, just like that. But it's just a shorthand for doing that, so we can just get rid of that. And the compound assignment operator here would just look like this if we were going to do it in long form. All right, so let's save that. And okay, our slides are advancing, but not smoothly. So I believe that's a problem with CSS. And did we incorrectly assign that scroll behavior smooth? What's going on here? Everything seems to look all right here in the dev tools. I must have made a typo. So scroll behavior. I typed in scroll heavier. Behavior. Okay, now they should smoothly transition from one slide to the next. Behavior. Wow, man, I'm having a problem with that property. Okay, there we go. There's that smooth transition that we're looking for. All right, so that's how you can create a minimal slider using just about 15 lines of JavaScript and only 45 lines of CSS and 15 lines of HTML. All right, thanks for watching. If you like my channel and if you liked this video, go ahead and like it and subscribe. Thanks a lot.